All right, so last week we went a little crazy and we did a chanting meditation, which is not for everyone. And I commend you for being here and sticking with it. It's a little bit out of a lot of people's comfort zone. So, really well done. And because we did something so funky last week, I wanted to take it back to basics this week. So, it's a great time for new people to be joining us if you can stay. We're going back to the basics of breath meditation, the most important part of our meditation. And then, we'll have some fun again in the coming weeks. But today we're just going to chill and breathe. So when you're ready, my friends, meet me in any position that you can get really comfy in. So I'll show you. I always like to show you in the beginning my setup because it's so not fancy. But I do want you to try to get down to the floor if possible. I just have a blanket on top of a couch cushion. It's very comfy, most importantly. And I'm sitting on a yoga mat since I'm on a hardwood floor. So when you arrive, know that you can be seated, you can be lying, or if you haven't built up the muscles along your spine to allow you to sit comfortably for 25 minutes, you're welcome to back yourself up against a wall. If you had to stay in your desk chair, I ask that you try to ground, which is why I wanted you to be as close to the floor as possible, with your feet, bare feet if possible. But it's cold in my basement, so I have socks on today. Bare feet if possible on the ground for those of you that are staying in your desks. It's tough to get still, so we're gonna move a little bit. If you have room, grab onto your knees, and you're gonna start circling your torso around. Now notice that your sits bones, right in the middle of your butt, those bony parts are connected to your seat in some way. We wanna keep those down so we can lengthen our side bodies. If you went all one direction with your body circles, let's switch. A little bit of movement always helps us get really still and comfortable. Start noticing your breath flowing. Get one more big circle in this direction. And then let's move through our neck a little bit. So come back up to seated. Tuck your chin to your chest and just try to let your nose, your eyelashes, your eyebrows hang heavy. Lift up tall through your back ribs and the top of your shoulders. We have a length in our spine, but we're really releasing through the back of our necks. Eyes back forward, left ear to left shoulder, same thing. So I don't want to hunch here. I'm trying to sit up really tall and then just simply drop my ear to my shoulder, feeling a great stretch. If you don't feel the right side of your neck, reach your fingertips long. They may need to move around to find a great place, and then we'll feel a little shoulder and neck release on the right side. Switch when you're ready. Eyes back forward, a gentle drop, right ear to right shoulder. Try to lift up through your back body again. And if it doesn't feel like it's enough, left fingers can reach out. They can touch down. Try to begin softening your eyes. Soften your facial features. That's really hard to do in the beginning, so don't worry, I'll help you get there. Back to center. A little bit of eye meditation. We're going to block out visual stimulation. Take your hands and just rub them together, trying to get a little bit of warmth in your palms. Rub them. The faster you rub, the faster they get warm. And because we're so wired to our devices these days, it's nice to just close our eyes, make your hands like cups, and rest them directly over your eye sockets. Hopefully we're drawing in a little bit of that heat, but most importantly, blocking out any visual stimulation, screens, brightnesses, movements, objects, colors. Take a minute to find one more big breath, feeling like you could draw this heat like a really comfy warming blanket down into your eye sockets and help them relax a little bit through your meditation today. At the bottom of that exhalation, let's drop our hands somewhere that they feel comfy. Palms up, palms down. You can cup them by your belly. You can rest one on your heart, one on your belly. There's no wrong way. Just try to get settled in. I love for you to close your eyes through your meditation. That's not always convenient or comfortable. So if you're not fully comfy closing your eyes, try to drop your gaze down low. I always think about looking down the bridge of my nose. We soften, close your eyelids like a little slit so everything becomes blurry and out of focus. As we're sinking into our supports and becoming more comfortable, let's ensure that our backs are straight. Our body feels balanced. We're not leaning to one side or the other. And we're as relaxed as possible. We're going to try to set aside our to-do and to-go list, coming into the present moment, resting in being here now. And we're adjusting ourselves so that we feel alert but relaxed. Beginning to focus on your breath. Breath provides our bodies with oxygen that's required to function optimally. But since it's a process that occurs quite naturally on its own, we often forget to offer it the appreciation and the tenderness it deserves. So by practicing these meditations together, by learning a little breath strategy that I'll teach you at the end, we're able to quickly reach into our back pocket, into our toolkit, and pull out a breath strategy when we need it during anxious times, chaotic moments, times in our lives where we hope that we respond beautifully, calmly, as opposed to reacting. As we can enhance our awareness of the breath through our meditations together, we start to see how not only it nourishes our physical bodies, but mindful breathing can soothe and heal emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies as well. It reduces our stress. It positively impacts our thoughts and our mood. Even just a few moments of focusing on your breath can change your entire outlook. It boosts our brain power and it enhances our quality of sleep. So it's a no-brainer. Focusing on breath is so important. Mindful breathing actively requires us to pay attention with an open awareness. Pay attention to our breath exactly as it is. There's no judgment about where it's moving, how it's moving. We're just watching it. We are the observer. Now let's consider really grounding ourselves into our spaces. So I think about getting heavier through everything that is connected with something else, whether it's another part of your body, a chair, a floor, a wall. Sink a bit more heavily into that space. And as we begin, notice the presence of the room around you. So what does the air feel like against your skin? Is there a soft blowing movement of air? Is there a temperature or quality of it that you can notice? Or becoming in tune with our surroundings? What does the earth feel like beneath your feet? And if you're on a top floor of an apartment and that's just hard to consider, let's check in with how our ground feels underneath of our bodies. How does our resting body feel? Are there areas of heaviness? Are there areas of warmth? Areas of joy or lightness? And then let's bring our full attention this morning to our natural breath rhythm. We are not going to change it or control it. We're simply watching. Let's practice observing it any way that it moves in this present moment. You might notice its pace and your breath's depth shift. Hopefully we slow down and elongate as we continue through our practice, and we allow it to happen. Simply holding our focus on each breath, both the in and the out breath. Try to observe that very brief moment between your in and your out breaths. There's this beautiful moment of perfect stillness. Begin to soften the muscles in your face as you connect with your breath. Relax the hinge of your jaw, possibly dropping your bottom jaw from your top. Creating a beautiful open space. I like to envision my mouth like a parachute. So the roof of your mouth on inhalations opens really wide, bringing in this big, beautiful breath. Exhale, softening down, allowing your tongue to rest on the back of your bottom teeth. Continue relaxing through your face. You could envision a mental eraser and take that eraser, a swipe over your forehead, removing any lines of focus or concentration. Draw that eraser down around the corner of each eye, in between your brows, and then under each eye, softening all those beautiful laugh and story lines. Let's let our facial features melt into one smooth, carefree surface. We give a good heavy swipe down the bridge of our nose, from our eye sockets down to our chin. Swipe along your jaw, over your lips, and down your chin. We may be able to feel the energy release as tension rolls off our face in these beautiful, soft little waves. Then I like to feel it drip all the way down chin, neck, and off the back of your shoulders, knowing that your supports will infinitely support you. And you can just let your tension ease out, spreading like honey down into the ground and your supports beneath you. We're going to leave anything we don't need here today. As we focus our breath and it starts to slow, starts to spread a bit deeper into these nooks and crannies that we're opening as we breathe, we may start to notice a lift and a lower through our collarbones, the base of our throat, maybe a spreading and widening sensation in our shoulders. Find those on the in-breath. And on the out-breath, let gravity take over, softening down. As we get a bit deeper into our breath practice, we might notice the breath reaching down into our belly, feeling this widening and opening in all directions sensation. It's okay if we don't reach our belly today. Just breathe with open-minded curiosity, watching it, seeing how it's moving. Recognizing that we have no necessity to do anything in particular here, just being in the moment. We aren't controlling our breath, we're just allowing. And as you continue to breathe, imagine that your whole body is breathing. I always love to envision a jellyfish, how they move out and in, out and in. It's as if the entire creature is breathing this whole beautiful breath into every little cell of its body. Entire body filling with breath as we inhale, softening and releasing as we exhale. And as we continue focusing, oftentimes it's very normal and natural for even the most experienced meditators to feel a little scattered or dispersed. Your mind just floats off in a different direction. So when that happens, we envision these clouds in a sky, and a little gentle breeze comes through. Those clouds that are your thoughts, your emotions, your sensations, your noticing. We just let that breeze sweep them right on out of our awareness. Coming back to an empty slate, a really smooth, clear sky. Back into our anchor, that is the breath. Coming back into that feeling of a full body breath in and out. Noticing perhaps that natural expansion that's occurring, all the beautiful space that's being created as you breathe in, and a deeper sense of settlement, a natural release as you exhale. Trying once again to notice that perfect moment of stillness I often find it a bit easier at the bottom of an exhale before the in-breath begins. Steady, slow breaths, grounding ourselves. And let's take notice if there are areas in our bodies that are tense or tight. Or maybe it's something that you tend to carry with you mentally. Maybe it's not a physical sensation. Hold these areas in your awareness for just a few breaths here. Begin to breathe. It may help to visualize the area, either in your brain, somewhere that's really hanging on to some tension or trauma, something in your body. Visualize it. Focus your attention on anything that yearns for either support or possibly a little bit or a whole lot of release. Let your inhalations be long. As you breathe in, try imagining a radiant white light entering your body through both nostrils. See those two threads as they move towards just one place that's calling for your attention. Give that area your full attention with this beautiful inhalation of white light, holding this nourishing light on the tension for a brief second. And then as you exhale, envision some, possibly all of it being released. Don't worry if you're unable to release. Just creating awareness and space for this tension will allow it to become a little less heavy. It can take repeated efforts to fully release. And then let's repeat this with any of our body parts or spiritual areas, mental areas, emotional parts of our bodies that are in question until we feel that tightness, this discomfort being lessened. And especially during moments of breath-filled silence, your mind will wander. Try to treat that like you would a small child that needs your help. Just gently guide them back to the safety, the support, the anchor, which is your breath. If there are other areas that need your attention, please continue repeating the radiant white light exercise in the same way as often as you need it. And we can continue even if we don't need any TLC in any areas of our bodies. If you're feeling really good, you can just envision that to help you stay focused on your breath. Envision this pure white light filling your lungs as you inhale. Maybe feel it really supporting and nourishing you. And then moving around your body to the tips of your fingernails, the tips of your toenails as you release. I especially love envisioning that going all up into your hair follicles. Sometimes when you're really in the moment, feeling your breath, feeling that radiant white light, you can almost feel a little tingle in all of your hair follicles. Let's revisit holding our entire bodies in this little bubble of breath awareness. Note what is present in you right now, how you're feeling, any sensations, any emotions associated with these sensations, and if there have been shifts, especially in the quality of your breath. Are you able to breathe with a little less tightness in your chest? Do you feel that you've sat up your posture just a bit more confidently? Are we feeling softening in areas like our low backs, our shoulders, our necks, those areas that are typically a little stiff with tension? The most beautiful part of our breath practice is that we can practice it literally anywhere in very unconventional settings. So it's not a practice that we have to reserve for our time together, for finding a meditation cushion or for finding solitude. We can practice our mindful breathing while we're taking the bus, while we're waiting in line at the grocery store, stuck in a traffic jam, while we're walking or running or exercising. And especially during those moments, right before we drift off to sleep, or if we're experiencing some insomnia, really helpful there. In essence, mindful breathing exercises can be explored in any setting, and it doesn't matter whether you have the 30 minutes that we are so generously gifted to have together, or if you have 30 seconds. So I want to teach you this really beautiful breath strategy that I use all the time because it's so simple. I refer to it as box breathing, so I envision a box. Some people call it equal parts breathing. And hopefully our breath has settled, so we feel that we can comfortably experience a 4-second breath. We breathe in for 4 seconds, pause in stillness, retaining breath for 4 seconds. Exhaling for another 4 seconds, and again, pausing. Envision that like the bottom of your box, retaining your breath for 4 seconds. As we practice this together, if it's challenging, it's okay. Take it down to maybe 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Most important thing is just to practice. We don't have to get stressed. Just breathe and be. When you're ready, let's begin by one natural breath in and out anyway. And I like to breathe in through my nose and then exhale through my mouth. It just clears any stale or stagnant energy. Settle in. And we begin box breathing together. Inhaling, 4, 3, 2, pause, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 3, 2, 1. Begin again. Breathe in, 2, 1. Pause, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause with a gentleness about your face and your shoulders. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause gently, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. One more round. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Resume normal breathing. Notice how you feel. And it's okay if you're feeling neutral. You're not feeling completely chilled out. It's not something that works the first time you try. So with practice, you can tap in much more quickly. Practice just a little bit each day. I have a little challenge for you. During a transition time today, so let's say it's between a couple of meetings at work or literally before you walk into your home or just before you go to bed tonight, pause and try one round of box breathing. Just one. See if it helps you loosen the set of your jaw. Slow your gait a bit. Drop stress out of your shoulders. Respond more beautifully and calmly to a situation. As we begin to close our practice together, let's take one more of those really big breaths in, and then any type of an exhalation. My favorite is a big sigh, just letting it ripple through your whole body. And then especially if you've been still this whole time, we're gonna begin to wiggle just a little bit through our fingers and our toes. We're gonna roll our shoulders around a little bit, maybe one at a time or both. Try to go both directions, reawakening your body slowly. And then back again to your neck. Just let your chin fall to your chest, sit up tall through your back ribs. Roll it around to your right ear and see if you can drop it down again and roll it to your left ear. Just a few rolls through your neck here. Flexing through your ankles now, flexing through your wrists, or maybe curling them or rolling ankles or wrists, whatever you can do to move just a bit bigger. Noticing how your body feels. And let's see if you can carry some of this beautiful, not just breath, but body awareness that you've established this morning in our practice with you as you move through the rest of today. My friends, as we close, bring your full attention to the sound of the third bell and follow it all the way to the end. My friends, thank you so much for joining me for today's breath-centered practice. The light in me honors, acknowledges, is humbled by, inspired by, and grateful for the light that is each and every one of you. Namaste.